Now, again, when it comes to red flags, I'm not a believer of you see it, you run, you're done. No, you address it, and if it cannot be corrected, then you absolutely let go. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stephan, aka Stephan Speaks, your life and relationship coach, here to provide you with dating advice, relationship advice, all of it, life advice, you name it. Today, be sure subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, and I want you to vote below. Do you believe good men exist? Let's just start with that. Yes or no? That might sound like a silly question to some of y'all, but no, there's a lot of people who they can fall on either side of that question, but just vote below, yes or no, do you believe good men exist? Well, let me just tell you from my perspective, great men exist, amazing men exist, but also horrible men exist. Evil, no good, not worth your damn time men exist. And some men are good and still not worth your time. And that's why today's video is going to help shed light on who you should be giving your time to and who you should not. We're going to talk about when he's not worth it versus when he's just not perfect. Because there's a difference there, all right? So let's get into first, he's not worth it. So let me make something very clear to you. Here are some signs for you to see or to embrace so that you know that this man is not worth your time and you should not be entertaining him. Number one, he does not communicate with you. Now listen, this is one of those situations where I'm not saying that every man who struggles with communication is a bad man. I'm not saying that every man who can't communicate has ill intentions. But he is still not worth it for you, at least at that time, because you cannot establish a healthy, successful relationship with a man who does not want to talk to you, with a man who does not know how to express himself, or at least is willing to learn how to better express himself. One of the biggest deteriorators of relationships are a lack of communication or unhealthy, toxic communication. So you've got to recognize very quickly, if this guy is unwilling to communicate, he is not worth your time. Now, some men will make the excuse, and some women will make the excuse for these men, oh, well, he's just not used to it. He grew up around this, or his past relationships that. Okay, cool. I'm not even going to dismiss that. I'm not saying we can't have any sympathy or empathy for this man. However, he can't use that as a crutch. You can't accept that he's a bad communicator and think you're going to work your way through that while being in a relationship with him. That's not going to work. Again, you are more than likely headed towards absolute, complete disaster. So don't make excuses. If that is his issue, he needs to go work on it, fix himself, and when he's ready to have healthy communication, now we can discuss having a real relationship. So that's number one. He does not communicate well with you. Number two, he's very dismissive of your feelings. So one of the things that you'll find in a lot of situations is women saying, well, I try to talk to him and, he either calls you crazy or he thinks it's stupid or he just somehow deflects, all right? Or dances around the topic completely. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with his unwillingness or inability to effectively communicate. But regardless, being dismissive, and I literally just had a video about you should not be dismissive, man or woman, but being dismissive on his end is a huge red flag. Now, again, when it comes to red flags, I'm not a believer of you see it, you run, you're done. No, you address it, and if it cannot be corrected, then you absolutely let go. But if he is dismissive, that is a huge sign of a man who is not worth your time. Now, again, and I'll elaborate more on this a little bit later, if he had a moment where he was dismissive, but he is typically welcoming of your feelings, open to listening to you, willing to talk about it, then I'm going to give him a pass on that moment. It still needs to be corrected, but it's understandable that that was just a mistake on his end. But when he is consistently dismissive, ain't nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about. So again, doesn't communicate well. Very dismissive of you. Number three, he disrespects you. Now listen, disrespect can come in various forms, but how people view specific things as disrespectful will vary with each person. And so it's important that I say here, disrespect is going to be defined by you to a certain extent. There are some things that are pretty much universal, I would say, when it comes to being disrespectful. But there are going to be very specific things that you take offense to that someone else doesn't. So understand that you cannot assume that this man will know automatically that this is a disrespectful thing. That may sound crazy, but what would be best to do is, once the disrespect has occurred in your eyes, again, address it. Now, if he continues to be disrespectful, when you've made it clear this is a problem for you, this hurts your feelings, whatever, let him go. He is not worth it. Any man who is going to knowingly disrespect you and continuously disrespect you is not someone you should be entertaining. I don't give a damn if he has a moment of showing you all kinds of love. I don't care if he says all kinds of great things in other situations. If this man is continuously disrespectful, I don't care if he's paying your damn bills, all right? I don't care what else he's doing. If he is continuously disrespectful to you, he is not worth it. Let him go. Now, I can run down a lot of other things that would make a man not worth it. You know what? Let me add a couple more. Before I switch to he's just not perfect, let me give you a couple more reasons to understand he's not worth it. Number 4, y'all don't want the same things. Now listen, this is another situation where he may not be a horrible guy. He may not have quote unquote ill intentions, all right? But if you two are not on the same page and you don't want the same things, then this man is not worth it. Trying to convince him to want what you want is a huge mistake. Hoping that he will change and now shift his desires to what you want is a bad mistake. You've got to embrace and accept what he's telling you he desires, where he stands, and if it does not align with what you are looking for, let it go. So many women get caught up and dragged along in situations, months, years, whatever, with men who never wanted what they wanted, who were never gonna give you what you needed, were never gonna fulfill you in the ways that you're looking for, was never going to be able to have a successful, happy, healthy relationship with you. You gotta recognize that as quickly as possible and cut them loose. There is no point in continuing if you do not want the same things. So again, we can talk about a lot of various other things, but those 4 to me are huge signs. He's not worth it. Now let's talk about he's just not perfect. All right. So again, I can give different examples, but what this is really going to sum up to be is a man who is showing consistent effort but makes mistakes is the man who just isn't perfect. But when he shows a willing desire to learn, a desire to talk to you, a desire to make the necessary adjustments when you make clear what is a problem, then this is a man who's not perfect and can be worth your time. Now, granted, listen, there are some other reasons where even the man who shows effort, even the man who's willing to make adjustments may simply not be the man for you, all right? That is possible, but he would still fall under the category of he's just not perfect. And he's not like the other guys who is clearly just not willing to give you what you need or be the man that you need in your life right now. So with this guy, the way that you test out if he isn't perfect is, again, always be willing to address situations. Do not assume he knows better. Do not assume he knows how you feel. He cannot read your mind. And even the man who loves you, even the man who deeply cares about you, sometimes needs direction from you. Because what you specifically require, what you're specifically looking for, may not be what he's accustomed to, may not be what he's been exposed to. And so his inability to connect with that is not proof of him not being worth your time. It's not proof of him having ill intentions. It's simply proof of he is not fully aware of all of your needs and desires. Yes, I would love to encourage men to try to Get as in tune with your partner as possible, to learn how to read body language, to understand her cues, to not have to hear very specific words to know what's going on. I want to stress that. That is important for men to learn how to do with the woman they love and are trying to establish a great relationship with. But I don't want women listening to this to scapegoat that. I don't want you to think, well, that's just the way it should be always. He needs your help sometimes. And that's how you will see how serious he is. Because when you can tell him how you feel, and then he responds with listening, with being open, with making adjustments, then you have someone there who is willing to work with you. Also, in evaluating a man who is just not perfect, it's one thing to be consistently bad with good moments versus to be consistently good with bad moments. See, the guy who isn't worth it is typically consistently bad, all right? Even if you want to say it's 60-40, he still has a very strong, consistent presence of being unhealthy or doing things that are going to undermine the success of the relationship. Whereas the guy who isn't perfect is typically consistently good, consistently showing effort, but he does have moments of making mistakes. He does have moments where he may let his emotions get the best of him. He does have moments where he may say something disrespectful. Now, again, I am not trying to excuse it or validate it, but I have seen people lose themselves in a moment and say the wrong thing, but that was not the example of their true character. And again, it ran contrary to what they were consistently doing, which was pouring in love, which was showing effort, which was listening to their partner. So look closely at that, because sometimes we try to hold on to the good in the bad people, and we reject the good in the good people because they made the mistake. All right? I always say the woman a man loves the most has the least room for error. The F-boy, so to speak, he can mess up a bunch of times, and for various reasons, which we won't talk about in this video right now, a woman will let him have another chance. Whereas the great, amazing guy, he messes up once or twice, and it's out the door. All right? And to shed some light is because his actions or his faults hurt way more than the other guy who you know is toxic and unhealthy. But either way, evaluate what is consistently going on here. Is he showing an effort? Is he willing to listen? Is he willing to communicate? And give him credit for that. And understand that, yes, this guy is not perfect, but we can work together. So all that to say again, knowing the difference between who to be patient with and who to cut off is everything. It's important. And I'm hoping this video has shed some light on that. Some of this might sound like common sense to some people, but some of this might be a revelation or a refresher in your mind to really help you be mindful with evaluating these things and understanding the man who is not worth it versus the man who isn't perfect. So again, like the video, subscribe to this channel, share it, leave your vote below. Do you believe good men exist? I will tell you they do exist. And you can receive that in your life because that's what God wants you to have. But you got to make sure that you believe it in order to receive it.